One of the young artists that I really, really admire is an artist called James Blake. He's an electronic artist, and I was the first person ever to play his music on the radio. And I remember hearing his work on SoundCloud and thinking it was just the most extraordinarily beautiful but deeply fragmented, poetic, unusual, just the patterns of the way this whole thing moved I'd never really heard before. And he just blew my mind. But I was playing him on a very avant-garde, specialist, underground electronic music show. So I was pretty stunned when he turned around and said, I'm signing a major deal with Universal. And I thought to myself, wow, okay. I hope that doesn't put you in a situation where you need to really radically compromise what it is that you're doing at a creative level, because that would be deeply upsetting. But actually what he did, particularly with his second album, was move in an even more avant-garde direction, really, in spite of the fact that he was now a major label artist. And he was doing really interesting things in live environments too, bringing in sound systems that you would associate with much more of a kind of radical clubbing environment into more conventional gig spaces, and pretty much spending all his money on this equipment. But I was really tormented when he signed a major deal. I worried enormously about the fact that creatively he wouldn't ever be able to achieve what it is that he had set out to do. But I was completely wrong to have any doubts whatsoever, because he ended up with an album in the top 10, an album called Overgrown. And that record went on to win the Mercury Music Prize. And yet he did it completely on his own terms. And I really admire that, the fact that he made such an amazing transition. He was able to cross a bridge into a completely different space and find a much bigger audience, really. And that was a remarkable feat. It really was. And it seems like an odd thing to say, doesn't it? To say that signing to a major record label is a big risk. But I think if you look historically over the work of many artists who have gone that route, who've began by making pretty radical avant-garde music, they will tell you outright that it was the biggest mistake of their entire careers. But to look at an artist like James and think, I don't know, here's somebody who's really made it work for him. He's really managed to create the most extraordinarily beautiful music and yet set it on a global platform, and it works, you know.